You drive past the gas station and do the quick mental math. $3.96 a gallon, up from $2.94 just a month ago. You file it under annoying but manageable and move on. Most people will do exactly that. But the most expensive thing that happened on February 28, 2026, won't fully show up on most bank statements until October or November. And by then, most will have forgotten what started it. That's not a metaphor. That's the actual timeline. What began as coordinated strikes on Iran has set off 5 separate economic shocks, moving toward your wallet on 5 different timelines, each one bigger than the last, each one disguised as something completely unrelated by the time it lands. Right now, most people are staring at the gas pump, filing it away, and continuing with life. That filing is wrong. My name is David, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, stewardship, and how quietly costly bad assumptions can be. Today, I'm going to walk you through all 5 waves, when each one hits, and exactly what to do before they arrive, not after. As Proverbs 22:3 NIV says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." Wisdom begins with seeing what's coming. Let's rewind. On February 27th, there was talk of progress in U.S.-Iran nuclear negotiations. One day later, on February 28th, the U.S. and Israel launched coordinated strikes on Iran. Iran retaliated with ballistic missiles and drones hitting U.S. bases across the Gulf. Oil infrastructure was damaged. By early March, Iran effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow choke point that carries roughly 20% of the world's seaborne oil. By mid-March, commercial traffic through the strait had dropped to nearly zero. The IEA called it the largest energy supply disruption ever recorded. They released 400 million barrels from emergency reserves, the largest release in their history. Brent crude spiked from $71 to near $120 before pulling back to around $100. The gas price you're seeing right now is Wave 1, visible, but only the beginning. Wave 2, groceries, 30 to 60 days away. Diesel powers the trucks that move nearly all our food. When diesel jumps 47%, freight surcharges pass through quickly. Retailers have absorbed costs for months. The cushion is gone. Grocery inflation, already running 2 to 4%, is now projected to climb higher. Beef, coffee, sugar, all expected to rise further. For a household spending $340 to $400 a month on groceries, this wave quietly adds $40 to $70 more. It won't feel like a crisis at first. It will just feel like everything is getting more expensive. Wave 3, fertilizer, hits October. Natural gas is the main ingredient for nitrogen fertilizer. With the strait closed, fertilizer exports halted and prices surged. Farmers are making planting decisions right now that will determine the fall harvest. You won't feel this in April. You'll feel it in October when produce prices spike and you wonder why your budget suddenly feels tighter. As Luke 14:28 NIV teaches, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? Many families are building their budgets without counting these coming costs. Wave 4, airfare, summer travel. Jet fuel surged over 60%. Fuel is 25 to 33% of airline costs. Analysts now project 15 to 30% fare increases for summer 2026, with June and July hit hardest. The price you see today is likely lower than next month. Wave 5, interest rates, the quietest but most expensive. Higher oil feeds inflation while slowing the economy. The Fed is trapped between fighting inflation and supporting employment. Rate cuts that markets expected are now unlikely. Mortgage rates, auto loans, and especially credit card rates, already 21 to 24%, stay elevated longer. The $1.27 trillion in credit card debt Americans carry becomes even more expensive. Here's the deeper truth. 1 Timothy 6:6. NIV reminds us, but godliness with contentment is great gain. When we chase the appearance of stability through more debt and spending, we trade real peace for temporary comfort. To make this real, consider 2 households in the same city. Maya, 31, kindergarten teacher, $58,000 salary, $3,400 in savings, investing $200 per month. Ryan and Jess, combined $94,000, $2,100 in savings, $3,800 on a credit card at 22%. Same grocery store, same news cycle, very different outcomes. Not because of income, but because of decisions made in March 2026. What you can do starting this week, biblical stewardship in action. Build margin. Your emergency fund needs to be bigger and earning something real. High-yield savings accounts are paying 4.0 to 4.2%. Proverbs 21:20. NIV says, the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Margin is biblical. Attack high-interest debt aggressively. Paying off 22% credit card debt is like earning a guaranteed 22% return tax-free. Keep investing consistently. Do not pause. Contributions. The instinct to wait out volatility has cost investors dearly for decades. As Ecclesiastes 11:6 encourages, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed. Book necessary travel soon. Summer fares are rising. Live with intentionality, not fear. Philippians 4:6-7. EV tells us, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Most people will spend the rest of 2026 confused about why everything keeps getting more expensive. You now understand exactly why. The households that come through this in better shape won't be the ones who earn the most. They'll be the ones who adjusted earliest, acted with wisdom, and trusted God's provision instead of panicking or pretending nothing changed. Final encouragement. You don't need to fear the waves. You need to prepare faithfully, spend less than you earn, build margin, avoid foolish debt, invest consistently, pray for wisdom. And remember, the true security isn't found in perfect economic conditions. It's found in faithful stewardship and contentment in Christ. If this helped you see the real picture clearly, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment. Which wave concerns you most, and what's one step you're taking this week? May the Lord give you wisdom, peace, and provision in every season.